So this is our model Chris. Working with Chris, understanding this fabric of hair is very important. This is a very common haircut that comes into the salon. So what I do here is starting off with a soft bristle brush, brushing that hair more towards its natural form where it's going to be worn, and then going in here with my clipper using a #1 guard, and I'm going against the grain. And the reason why I go against the grain is just to make sure that the hair is short enough and it's nice and even all the way through. So as you see, as I brush the hair, I bring it forward, just really working more with the natural growth pattern of it. You see the movement back and forth with the clippers, just assuring that you get an even length all the way through. Here you see the same, just brushing that hair downward, going in with my trimmer, which is going to be my shortest length, setting in a guideline. This is going to help me with my taper to control that weight distribution with the haircut. I go behind the ear, folding it down using my left hand, and that way it's just a little bit easier to clean around that hairline. And I keep it all the way towards the bottom, so it's almost like just keeping myself inside the box of where I want to work that blend in. On the opposite side, I do exactly the same, going in, setting that weight line at the temporal, and the reason why is again because of the head shape. So it's really just understanding what's going to be suitable for this guest and how high or how low I could take that taper. Through the back area, I'll start from the center and work my way out. In the same way, just go back from that center and work towards the opposite direction to maintain balance and consistency with the shortest length. On the sides here, I go in with my clipper, making sure I have an open blade with that. And if you see, it's more just like that little rocky motion. So it's working from my toe almost to my heel of the clipper, brushing that hair downward, because every time you go in and cut, you tend to move the hair off of its natural fall. So it's important to keep that hair coming downward for an even haircut. Working around the ears, you see I'll use my opposite hand just to be able to control the ear and work around that. On the opposite side, working in that same manner. If you see, just a little bit of a quicker motion just helps me with that blend. I go in here with a 1 closed, so it's blending it all the way through from that no length at all from the skin all the way up to basically that 1.5 that we set through that top length. Through the back, you see the same movement, just a little bit quicker, working with that clipper. You see resting that toe of the clipper, and then you see just a little bit more of the heel. You see that I use different portions of the clipper, and it's because the head is round and I'm cutting with an object that's flat. So it's easier for me to use little bits and parts of the blade itself to be able to get specifically to the area that I need to be able to blend. And then here, once I have that, I start working a little bit more towards that parietal ridge area, just making sure that I have even consistency in length from top to bottom. With the front hairline, I make sure that I work from the center out to the corners and then back in the same direction to maintain balance within that. If you see, as I cut with the trim, I have just a little bit of almost like a side movement and also just coming down, and that just assures that I could cut just a little bit of a cleaner line with my trimmer. Here I'm going to work in the same manner with that trimmer, so just making sure that, again, the body position, that the chair is down enough where I could go in with my hand and use that blade to create that shape. You see here through the sides, I'm just using the corner, so that way I'll just get a little bit of a sharper line all the way through. I tilt his head slightly downward, so that way I could see exactly where I'm going to be cutting. And you see, again, I work from the center out to the corners to maintain the balance of that front hairline. Working the same, still holding the head in that same position. I just want to assure myself that my guest at that point doesn't go back. And through the sides, I work in the same manner. Now I'll lift the head up so I could visually see it from a front standpoint of view, and I could see the balance of it. Cutting all the way through, making sure again that I'm brushing that hair. So a lot of times it also takes the excess hair off of the face so I could see actually as I'm blending and shading. So I blend also from the beard in to the existing length, so that way it's almost like you have a blend upward towards the head shape and then downward towards the beard. At the bottom neckline, I continue up, lifting his head, so that way it's just easier and a little bit more suitable and comfortable for my guest. And if you see there, I've tapered the bottom of his beard, and the reason is because I don't want to go in with a razor, because that could create some irritation. Here you see our Barber's Classic. It's one of my favorite products to utilize, especially with this fabric of hair where it tends to be just a little bit more dry, and I'm looking to just give a little bit more shine. As I apply the product through the palm of my hands, I make sure that I have an even distribution, and I go up to the head shape, and you see it's almost like a little bit of a circular motion, working my way from the back to the front, and again back to front, to maintain that same look that he has. And I'm going to continue on through the sides, making sure that I push or slightly brush that hair forward with my fingers and palm. And this is the end result that you see here. Just a great shine overall through Chris's hair, and hope you all enjoy.